Patrick, we had some fun talking about a hand last week that you said ended with the crowd kind of cheering and going crazy, and you had lost about an $800,000 pot, and we were having as much fun as we could with it, with being on the losing end of such a hand. And of course that was with our friend Mr. Ivey here. This hand was 2 jacks versus ace 10. It was on TV, a big hand. Can you guys help me and take it from there? Maybe we can go, you know.
Yeah, I can tell you what happened.
Okay.
I mean, I raised with 2 jacks. He called me with ace 10. No. Well, I raised with 2 jacks in the cutoff seat. He called me with ace 10, which was obviously correct. Someone else, I think, called with
Brian Townsend called from the bottom.
Okay. Yeah. He called from the little blind, I think.
Okay.
He called from the small blind.
Okay. Yeah.
He had 2 8s. It was 1,300.
Okay. Yeah.
You raised 2,000.
And I think the flop came ace jack, and I bet. And Patrick called.
You bet 5,000. Patrick raised to 15,000.
Oh, and then I re-raised it. Yeah.
You raised to 50.
Ah.
I can tell the whole story.
Nice play.
This is the worst memory of all the hands. This is my worst experience of any hands I've ever played. And I can explain.
Let's talk about it.
Why am I laughing? It's not funny, but just because the way you say it, it's funny to me. Not that you lost.
We can go back to it. It's okay. It's fun.
No, keep going. What happened?
So anyways, yes. So Phil raised with the jacks. I had ace 10 from the bottom. But here we come with the props. This is all because of the props. We were betting
all because of the props. You lost that big of a pot.
We were betting some side bets. We were betting some side bets for pretty big money. I was on for a triple. And we have the red aces and black aces for our cards to hit. If they hit the flop, any card is worth for 15,000, and a black flop or red flop is 15,000 more. So now Phil raises from the cutoff in this situation. He makes it so small. You made it about 1,800 or something. 2,000. 2,000. The big blind is 600 with there's antes. So I'm thinking that if he has his key card, the red ace, in his hand, he would never make it so small. So there's a big blind that's going to call and see the flop. So I have 1 red ace and 1 10, and I called, and now the flop came 2 black aces. I hit a 60,000 flop on this flop, but my prop was worth for 60,000.
You got that 60 anyway.
So yes, so that's the only positive thing about this. So now I realized it right away that since he made it so small that he's, unless he's sleeping with the props, that he would not do this, because Phil is a sharp man, sharp poker player.
Yes, in other words, we were playing a game where if the aces came out, it was worth, you had to pay the other person player. Like he had one color and I had a different color. So sometimes you would raise because say you had you were holding one of your aces in your hand, so you don't want to see an ace on the flop. Yes. So you'll make a big raise to get everybody out so they don't see the flop. And then sometimes when you have one of his cards, you would just limp in because you want to see a pot. You want to see a flop because aces are available. So he was thinking that when I raised that, there's no way I could have an ace because I would not have raised that amount. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. So that made the hand a little bit more confusing, is why he ended up playing it the way he did.
So that's why I decided to raise the flop. There was 2 black aces on the flop, and if he would have the most important card, red ace, that he definitely would not want to see the flop when I'm on for triple, which means I'm getting paid 3 times more than on a normal situation. But this, we don't go further. So anyway, so I decided to raise this flop, since just in case if Phil has a flush draw, so he can still call. He's gonna have to call with it, or give him a chance to bluff, which is not so big in this situation, in my opinion. And I was still happy when Phil 3-betted me, when he raised me back.
So he made it 5,000.
Yeah, I made 16,000 or something.
He makes
like
it
this.
50.
45, I think. But I was still happy in this situation. But at the turn bet, when he bet 100,000, I was still feeling comfortable I was.
The term was a
I
five
was
of diamonds,
I was
which
in a good
doesn't matter.
situation, in my opinion. But then when you kept betting the river and the hand took so long, and then I was started to think that, see, I still haven't got an answer. That you didn't. Did you know about the prop? Did you for sure you were thinking about the props?
Huh? Yeah, I knew.
You knew what was going on.
Yes.
So so
yeah, of course.
so that made it so confusing because I wasn't sure if you were thinking about it or not. But I should know that it's a pretty small chance you're thinking about
225 in the
it.
end.
So yeah, so anyways, yes, it's nice if we got this even as a cold deck for this video. This it's not a cold deck. I mean, I cannot beat anything else than a bluff on a river when you bet 200,000 or 250,000 in this situation.
I could be bluffing.
I can't even bet on it.
I could have been bluffing, but it was unlikely in that situation because I was losing so much that it was unlikely that I was bluffing. For me, I think, versus other players.
You were winning in props. You were up total in the game. But
I was? Okay,
yes.
yeah. I could have been bluffing there, sure.
But yeah, it happened. I made a bad call.
Not
I
necessarily.
had no real.
How many times have you called me and I've had nothing? A lot.